Hello, welcome back to the Trust Your Worth podcast, the podcast that helps you tap in to the power of knowing your worth. My name is Brittany, and thank you for joining me today. I just love singing. Last week I talked about how you are not behind. So if you feel like you're behind in life or everyone's just doing better than you, I promise you that is not true. So if you need help with that, go check out last week's episode, which was season 2, episode 30. Today, this episode was inspired by this amazing young woman who inspired me to conquer my task paralysis, because she started doing this thing where she called it, how long does it actually take? And then did a task and see how long it took. It just has been so inspiring that what this woman is doing, and also how it has helped me to accomplish more tasks. So hopefully it helps you. And if you've never heard of her, her name is Christi Cleans. I hope I'm saying that right. So Christi, thank you for inspiring this episode. And how long does it actually take? So I was scrolling on the TikToks, as one does. This is new for me because I just got TikTok in order to promote my podcast and to have my fun page, Brittany Yell. And I came across Christi doing things and seeing how long they actually took. So one that absolutely floored me and was cleaning her office. I'm going to link that video in the show notes, so check it out. Check out all of her stuff, because it's awesome and inspiring. And we love how it helps us to be better people. Anyway, this video, she said her friends were coming over in 45 minutes and she decided to tackle her office. And I looked at the before of her office and I thought, 45 minutes? That looks like it's going to take 3 hours, because there was just stuff everywhere. And then she was doing it. She even was able to vacuum and mop her floors after. And the total time it took her to organize and clean her office was 41 minutes. And I was like, huh? Kesco, what? No way. That's awesome. Because, right, in my mind, I was like, that doesn't take forever. That would take 3 hours. 41 minutes. And then she did other tasks. There was this cubbyhole one where I was like, surely that's going to take 3 hours. Again, a lot lower. I think it took her 40 minutes. I can't remember. But how long things actually take are not as long as they seem to be. And there are many reasons why we get task paralysis. If you have ADHD, doing tasks can be very hard. If you have anxiety, doing simple tasks can seem very hard because feelings of inadequacy come up. That also is similar with perfectionism. If you're like, I'm going to fail that task, so I won't even start doing it, because if I can't do it right, I'm not going to do it at all. So we get into these mindsets that hinder us in performing simple tasks that really don't take that long. So if you are struggling with task paralysis, here are some things that might help you get through it. And it's important to recognize that not everybody will be the same. Like, the reason why they have task paralysis is going to be important to know. So if you have ADHD, then yes, there are going to be more techniques that professionals will be able to provide that this podcast will not. So I would recommend seeking that professional help. Also, too, with anxiety, sometimes it feels like doing one thing is going to destroy you. You're so anxious to get it wrong, or that you just don't feel adequate enough to do the task, that it's preventing you from doing it. Or like, especially if it's like in front of other people, that can be very hard to work through. Also, depression is a big one. How when you are in a depressive state, I've been there, even getting out of bed is like difficult. Brushing your teeth is like, I'm moving a mountain right now. Putting your clothes on or taking a shower is just like, I literally can't today. If I have to dry myself off after a shower, like, there's so many steps involving a shower. like, I can't do it today. And sometimes that will happen. But doing this challenge of how long does it actually take and just timing yourself, and especially starting smaller. So Christi also has a video on dopamine, because accomplishing tasks does create dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitted hormone that happens when we do pleasurable activities, which motivates you to repeat them. So actually, we do kind of have a problem with dopamine overload, especially with apps like TikTok, I know, or Reels on Instagram. They give you a dopamine hit that help you want to go back to doing it. But the same happens. So a happiness hormone that elevates your mood happens when you do a task. It's the anticipation of it. And then while you're doing it, your dopamine is released throughout the task. So people with ADHD actually have lower levels of dopamine, which is why task paralysis, or the ability to accomplish tasks, is a lot harder for people with ADHD. So if you do struggle with that or know someone who struggles with that, it might be helpful to just give yourself grace, because chemically part of it is out of your control. So learning strategies to help you cope with task paralysis is going to be important for you. When it comes to accomplishing tasks, it's a funny thing that happens. If you want to be motivated, you actually have to move. You have to take action. It's harder for the motivation to start if you're not like doing the task. It's such a weird paradox almost. So when you look at a task, your brain comes up with this like task analysis of how long do you think it's going to take? And that's when it can start to get overwhelming, when you're like, there's so much stuff on the floor that is going to take me way too long. I do not have time to do that. Whereas one of the strategies you can use is to just do one thing. So if you have a room full of stuff that's been dirty forever, just take one thing and put it away. I have a cord that's just sitting on the floor over there for no reason. So I can just go put that cord away and it's going to be put away. But is my room still a mess? Yes. But it is less messy than it was before. And we're able to overcome this perfectionist idea that it has to be done right now and it has to be done perfectly. Failure is an important part of accomplishing tasks, because have you ever organized something and then you're like, oh my gosh, I put that thing in the wrong place. I'm going to have to pull everything out and do it again. But sometimes it's a blessing in disguise, because they're like, oh, actually, there's a better way that I put these things away, and it's even more organized than you ever thought imagined. So happy accidents can happen. But again, failure is part of the learning process, and failure is part of our everyday lives. So it's important to try and fail and try and fail. And the practice is going to help you be able to accomplish more things and bigger things, because once you get comfortable with the feeling of failure, you're just like, failed. Well, let's try again. You're able to get through it faster and able to accomplish more than you ever thought possible. If I could tell you, everybody who's tried to accomplish their dream or reach a dream, they can tell you that they did not get it the first time. When I think of my videos and how I've slowly gotten better just out of practice, just out of doing, you automatically get better when you do it. I've had horror stories of when I was filming videos. I remember filming this music video. Oh no, half of it was out of focus and I ruined it. And we couldn't refilm it. And I learned my lesson then. I was like, okay, now I triple check that everything is in focus. So you learn from your mistakes and you move on and you try again. I don't know if you know this, but I thought I was going to be a wedding videographer. So I did film quite a few weddings, and it's too high stress. I couldn't do it. Didn't want to do it for my whole life. So I stopped doing that. But filming and creativeness has always been a part of my life, and here we are now doing this podcast. I think the culmination of my skills, and I would not call myself a failure, I would call myself a success. But it took a lot of tasks to get things done. Even today, this episode's supposed to be out today. It will be out today, but it is currently, I think, 5 p.m. now. And it's not done, but it will be done on the Saturday when I said it was going to be done. So sometimes it's just harder for me to have the motivation or the time to get things done. But I was like, okay, all I have to do is start and we're going to get it done. Also today, I put Christi's idea into practice. So I was like, okay, I've had these shelves sitting in my garage. I've been procrastinating I think I've had them since January. They've just been sitting there. It is currently September. I haven't set them up, and I've been procrastinating cleaning the garage. So today I was like, nope, today's the day. I'm going to see how long it actually takes me to do. So I started at 1 p.m. and I swept out the garage. I organized it, made the shelves, and it took me 2.5 hours. And I was like, thank goodness, because I allotted 4. I thought it was going to take 4. So exciting stuff. It took a lot less longer than my brain computed for it to take. Like, I genuinely thought it was going to be like 4 or 5 hours. And so, yay, it's done. And I'm so happy it's off my list. And while I was doing it, I was listening to an audiobook. And I had a great time. The dopamine was flowing. Because once I'm in the task, I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. Like, we're getting it done. There were some points that were not pleasurable. I definitely used a blower to kind of get the sand out of my garage, but it blew back in my face a couple times because it's kind of windy. So, but now it's done. So let me just talk about a couple strategies. I'm going to link this article about some things to help you overcome that task paralysis. So first is to divide your task into smaller chunks. Like I said, you're walking by the kitchen and there is dishes everywhere. Just put 1 fork in the dishwasher. Like, keep it so small. Divide it up. Or just do one job. So maybe just wash the knives, or maybe like wipe the counters, or just like gather stuff. And you don't have to do it all at once. Divide it up into baby tasks, because it's a lot less overwhelming when it's a tiny task. Number 2, prioritization. So focus on what really matters. So my office is out of the way. Nobody can see it. So it is a little messy because I'm the only one who's in it and nobody's going to see it. But then I had some friends coming over and I had to clean the kitchen. So the priority was the kitchen. So I did that because people were going to be walking through it. So the visible areas definitely became the priority in that situation. So do what is most pressing, what is most important. If the deadline is tomorrow, then obviously do the task that you need to do and save the other ones for later. And maybe one technique to help you do that is to actually make a list. Just brain dump it onto your phone or write down all the things you need to do. And then you can like move them into order of importance of like, these 3 things I have to get done today. But if I have the motivation and the time to finish the rest of this list, then I will do that. So I hope that helps. Set realistic goals and achievable targets. If I were to run a marathon tomorrow, I would fail miserably. Why? Because I don't run. So there are many steps into running a marathon. You have to start small and you have to build up your resistance. So again, breaking it down into achievable goals. One of the ways you can set a good goal is to use the SMART system. So that's an acronym for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. Number 4, mindfulness. So stay present. If you ever find yourself worrying about the same things over and over, it's either time to take action about those things, or also to practice while you're doing other things to stay in the moment. You're washing a dish, maybe being like, oh, focus on how that feels and ground yourself in it. Or focus on the warmth of the water and the sensations that are happening to you that might help you to stay grounded within the task instead of having anxiety about all the things you need to get done after. Okay, number 5, positive reinforcement. So reward yourself after. So if you're like, okay, I will clean the kitchen and then I get to watch my show. Cooking has an inherent reward. You get to eat your yummy meal after. So treat yourself to something you love. Recognize that you did that. Recognize that you accomplished something, even if it was small. Like, you did it. I'm proud of you for doing it, and be proud of yourself because you earned that little reward you set up for yourself. Number 6, accountability. Seek support. So Christi does something awesome, is that she goes and helps her friends do something that they've been procrastinating. So if you have a big task that you feel like you cannot do by yourself, invite your friend to come help you out with it. So whether that's like organizing a whole room or like decorating, or she had the example of painting the trim on her friend's house and cleaning your friend's garage. So having support and someone there to help you, even to just get started, can be really helpful if you just like, this is too much for me. It's too overwhelming. And another way to keep yourself accountable is to set alarms. Like, if you have a task you have to get done, set an alarm to do it and set reminders to do it. And that might help you to be able to do them. Number 7, embrace imperfection. Done is better than perfect. My kitchen is clean and I got it done. Did I clean it in the most perfect way? No, I could definitely like do a deep clean this month and scrub the baseboards. But perfectionism is a significant contributor to task paralysis. So embracing the imperfection, how we got it done is not going to look pretty, but it got done and we can be proud that we did it. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to learn from them. So just try to work through it and know that it can help you to grow and improve. Number 8, celebrate your progress. So if you struggle with celebrating your progress, journals can be super helpful. Writing down your minor accomplishments. So like things you never thought. So I'm going to write in my journal, like, I cleaned out the garage today. I thought it'd never be done, but I freaking did it. That's an accomplishment. I'm proud of it. It's clean and organized. So, and I did that. So celebrate, be proud of yourself. Okay. But taking time to acknowledge your progress helps you to build confidence and it helps you to know, like, hey, I accomplished that task. What other task could I do if I put my mind to it? Amazing things. And number 9, have self-compassion. Be so kind to yourself. I know we get up sometimes and we think like, oh, frick, I should have started this sooner. I could have had this done by now. So when you feel like you're stuck in this negative mindset, try your best to take a deep breath and think of yourself with kindness. Like, what would my friends say to me if I was talking to myself like that? So instead of, I'm so lazy for not starting sooner, we can shift it to, I'm feeling overwhelmed right now, but that's okay. I'm going to break this into smaller tasks to get this done. So little changes. How we choose to speak to ourselves is so important, especially when accomplishing tasks. Okay. So I hope these things help you. Again, if you have ADHD or you're struggling with depression and anxiety, professional help might be helpful for you. So if that's something you're thinking you need, please get the help you need. And I hope that you can try to accomplish a small task this week. So that is going to be your work to see how long a task actually takes. So I want you to pick a task. It doesn't matter how big or small. If you're feeling overwhelmed though, please just start small. So for example, I need to clean my office. So I'm going to time myself and see how long it actually takes to clean my office. Looking around, honestly, I think I could get, I've been timing it so badly. Like my brain's been overshooting things. So I'm going to do it less. I think I can get this done in 5 minutes. That's pretty fast. But there's not a lot of stuff out as I thought there was going to be. So I want you to do a task and time yourself and see how long it actually takes. So thank you, Christi, for inspiring this episode. Check out Christi. She's on TikTok at Christine. So Christine. Wurtzen, Wurtzen. So Christine Wurtzen. check out her How Long Does It Actually Take videos. They're so fun and inspiring. She seems like a great gal. And thank you for inspiring this episode. As always, you can find me at trustyourworth.com or on Instagram and TikTok at trustyourworthpodcast. And if you want to follow my fun stuff, that is at Brittany L. So BritneYelle. There's an underscore either between the L or at the end in some of the platforms. So yeah, check me out. We're having lots of fun. And thank you so much for being here today. If no one has told you, you can do it. You've accomplished so many tasks. This next task, you're going to own it. You can do it. I promise you. And don't forget to trust your worth. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day. Love you. Bye.